your nose, Red!
Hold my nose?
Hold it! Hold your nose!
Darling! Love it!
Sweetheart. Sugar lips! What is this, guys? This is a big mistake. You see, it was a long potion.
You're so fair and you're so fine. Until the end of time. Wembley number 9.
Steve Whitmire, who Steve performs Kermit, and he's taken over Kermit from my father, and performs Rizzo and Bean Bunny and a whole number of characters. He's also taken over Beaker. Extraordinary performer.
A couple quick things I'll talk about. One was the first time I ever met Jim, which was really wild and crazy. And so I showed up in New York. It was the winter of 1977, 78. It was a record cold winter. I had no winter coat because I lived in the South. And all of a sudden, I'm sort of standing behind the door, at the door. It comes flying open and pushes me back on the sidewalk, and Jim steps out. And he sort of staggers out onto the street, and he's all disheveled, and his hair's messy, and his clothes, his shirt's untucked, and he's got a broom in his hand. And then the first sun, it's like this. The first sun of the day hits his eyes, and he kind of squinted, and he looks around. He looks up and down the street, And I said, "Hi, I'm Steve Whitmire." So jumping many, many years later, it came time when I was asked to do Kermit. And that was really scary, as you might imagine. I had known Jim for about 13 or 14 years at that point. Worked on basically everything he had done with this group of Muppets, not Sesame Street, but everything else. Worked very close together, and it was super intimidating.
Gentlemen, let's close up for
It was a
Christmas.
great honor to be asked, and I was just scared to death. And
There's magic in the
so
air.
they sent Brian and the family made this decision, sent me one of the puppets down, took it out of a box, and I had the puppet on before. I'd never performed it for anything, but I'd had it on around the shop. So I put him on, and I held him up in front of a mirror. I knew how to make the puppet talk. I had been doing this for a long time, And I fiddled with some of those expressions that Jim would do with Kermit, And then I opened my mouth to say something, and nothing came out. There was no way I could find a voice or the voice. And so the puppet just sort of looked at me like, "Come on, you can do it." And I took it off and put it in a closet and left it there for a month and didn't touch it. I couldn't go near it. But then it hit me that Jim always had a face that he made. We do these characters, and we sort of push a performance that an actor would do out through this hand. But we're down here, we make stupid faces all the time.
Don't watch us.
We're down here going,
Don't look at our faces.
But Jim had a particular face he made when he did Kermit, and what he did was that he frowned and he sort of pulled his mouth out to the side. And I thought, well, where can I see that? And I remember that I'd taken home movies of Jim backstage, and I had the camera poked in his face for about half an hour while he was doing Kermit. So I watched these movies, and that's where it all came from. If it weren't for working with Jim for 14 years and those movies, Kermit would not exist. There's no way he could be here.
Cancel.
What?
Cancel. Cancel the production number. Cancel everything.
What about the tribute?
I did it all wrong. I mean, when you read these letters and when you know how much people loved him, we can't do a tribute to him.
Kermit thought we could.
Oh, but Robin, all we have is silly songs and whoopee cushions.
Maybe that's enough. Well, that's what Uncle Kermit says. Take what you got and fly with it.
Fly with it? Kermit says that?
I think he learned it from Jim. This Jim Henson may be gone, but maybe he's still here, too, inside us, believing in us. If just one person believes in you, deep enough and strong enough believes in you, hard enough and long enough, before you knew it, someone else would think, if he can do it, I can do it. Making it two whole people who believe in you. Deep enough and strong enough, believe in you. Hard enough and long enough, there's bound to be some other person who believes in making it a threesome. Making it three. People you can say, believe in me. And if 3 whole people, why not 4? And if 4 whole people, why not more? And more, and more. And when all those people believe in you, deep enough and strong enough, believe in you. Hard enough and long enough, it stands to reason you yourself would start to see what everybody sees in you. And maybe even you can believe in you.
What a good song. I knew you guys could do the tribute for Jim.